Think so? I think if you defrost it, let it soak in some salt water,
The
might
meat is
soften it up.
like, okay, let me share this.
Man, I got to figure out how to use this thing.
With your phone.
No, I bought a mic. I haven't used it yet. Got to
Uh-oh.
figure out how to use it. Yeah.
A mic for your phone?
Well, apparently it can connect to my phone, but I bought it
Hello,
for
hello, hello. I'm not sure
me
who
on.
is on. Guys, we will not be on long. This is a very random live that we're doing. And it was based off you freezing. Um,
Am I?
yeah, you freezing. So if it
Oh,
yeah, if it clicks out or whatever, freezing or whatever, just hop back on in. But guys that are watching and that will be
okay.
watching, I did a post asking why does it seem like it's harder for men to commit? And this gentleman actually made a comment that I feel was really interesting. So we just randomly was like, okay, let's hop on and talk about that comment. So yeah, share the live. We're gonna talk about why is it harder for men to commit. Share the live, tag some people in. I really want you guys to ask your questions. It was a lot of interesting comments on that post. Most of the comments actually said it's not harder for men to
Oh yeah,
commit, so that was interesting. Um,
yeah,
so
yeah. Because I mean, when you were getting the perspective from men themselves, so of course we're gonna say it's not that hard.
yeah, it was, and I think it was a couple women that actually got on there too. Was like, no, it ain't
Yeah, I
hard for
just
them to commit. I'm like, okay, dang. But okay, so before we get started, guys, as you can see, I do have my Father's Day shirts on the screen. This young gentleman actually paid for 3 shirts for me to raffle off. So if you want to enter into that raffle, if you're a woman who wants to enter the raffle for your brother, uncle, son, husband, boyfriend, if you want to enter the raffle, just type in raffle. And so after the live, I will go in. I will everybody that typed in raffle, I'll put your name into a box, and we'll raffle off 3 shirts. 3 shirts again raffled off.
yeah.
Any color. These are shirts that other clients have bought before, and they've been to red and blue. So I want y'all to give me a different color to advertise. But yes, it's a
You know.
color of your choice. Uh, thank you guys. Hey, Ladonna. Hey.
Oh, they streaming in. They
Okay.
probably gonna be like, "Oh, raffle. Let me get one
Yeah,
of them. Let me
yeah,
get
and I'm
one of
gonna
them
have to say it
shirts."
throughout because I know people miss what I'm saying or whatever.
Yeah.
So let me go to the comment and actually just read
Well,
off the comment first,
okay.
and then we're gonna dive into the the panel. Okay, so on my post where
Yeah.
I asked why is it harder for men to commit, you said because women have been indoctrinated with the mindset that a man should commit when she feels he should. And when he doesn't, she assumes it's something wrong with him, as opposed to thinking maybe she hasn't proven that she's worth committing to. Or y'all aren't compatible enough for a commitment. And then you don't want to admit that part. So I felt
Right.
that was very interesting. Again, guys, ask your comments, questions, put that on in there while we got our guests. I might be on like 30 minutes, may not be long as my other panels. But I
Yeah.
did want to
So
tackle this.
don't miss
So,
out on that raffle.
and don't miss out on the raffle. Yes, type raffle,
Mm.
raffle, raffle. 3 free shirts I'm giving away. So I'ma just the comment that you made, I'ma just I posted 3 questions, or well, I made 3 questions, but I just want to tackle it kind of bit by bit. So I'm gonna go in with
Okay.
the first part of it. So it said women feel a man should commit when she is ready. I want you to go ahead and tackle that.
Right. Well, I mean, basically that comment came from from my previous experience with relationships and just not only what I've been through, but also, discuss same thing with women and men. A lot of women have this mindset that, once they're ready for that man to commit, that man is supposed to already be ready. When it's not necessarily the case. A lot of women have
Right.
already been indoctrinated with that sort of mindset, that sort of ideal that, hey, as if I'm ready, then he be ready. And that, I don't understand where it comes from, but that seems to be the general consensus across the board. There are exceptions to the rule with anything, but for the most part, that's usually how it goes. I don't know why. Hey, lady, maybe you can shed
Yeah.
some light on why that is, but as far as like my experience, that's something that I've noticed.
Yeah, you are really freezing up too. So hopefully, it catches our internet browsers catches up with each other and it doesn't like kick us off because you're freezing really, really bad. Um, I
Oh
mean,
man.
your audio is going good. It's just a video. I guess every time
Okay.
you move, it's like really, really freezing or something like that. I don't know. Um, I
Man,
can't really shed light on that. If ladies that are on here, if you can shed some light, comment your opinion. I can't really shed light because I wasn't really that person to always feel like when I was ready, the man should be ready. I've had a situation where I was in that case before, but it was more of a
right.
thing that I felt like I was tired of going from person to person. I was tired of dating. I was tired of meeting new people. Okay, yeah, Charity say she can hear you good. It's just the video freezing, so your audio is perfect. Um, but it was a time where I was just tired, and I'm like, man, look, okay, this the person I want. Listen, I'm ready. You ready? Ain't no point in us like stay talking to other people. Let's do this now
Right.
because I'm ready. So it was more of a, I guess, a time clock for me and just being tired of being on the dating scene as to why I felt like because I was ready, that person should have been ready. And it's selfish, I
right.
know. Now I know it's selfish. At the time, it didn't seem selfish at all. I couldn't understand it. Um,
Mm,
I don't necessarily
right.
know I don't know if we're taught that. I mean, I
Well,
don't know where that comes from. I don't know. I can't say. I mean,
I mean, just me personally,
are you
I think
pro?
that it comes from like just
Okay.
feelings. You
It comes from what?
know, feelings to go. So they try that. I'm sorry from people's personal feelings, realizing that the person that you're with, you know, you're like, oh, I don't want to lose this person to me, so you start to project that feeling onto them. Maybe it's, subconsciously or consciously, who knows, but you start to project that. And that's where I think that comes from is this whole, because I'm so, infatuated with you and I'm ready to be committed with you, you should feel the same way, and unfortunately not everybody is, designed just like the other person or, just designed just like you are. And sometimes it takes a person a while, a little bit longer. Now that doesn't mean that, what I'm saying, you should be allowing people to string you along. But it does mean that you should give people the time and space that they need in order to make that, because that's a very big commitment, a huge decision to make, to decide to be committed to one person. It's
Yeah.
very very
Um,
big decision.
yeah, and you kind of breaking up bad again. I might have to refresh my screen to see if that
Oh no, how
helps
we
because I know
fix
you're
that
on your phone.
here?
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know why it's lagging like that.
Yeah, it may be because you're on the phone and I'm on the laptop. I'm not sure if they're interfering with each other like that. Um, but Valencia said, I hate saying y'all names because I know I'll be saying y'all
Could
names
be.
all wrong. But she said it's a conversation that definitely needs to be had beforehand, and I do agree. It's just hard because we're not taught to have these conversations. We're just taught, I like you, you like me. What's up? Let's go out. Let's have sex.
basically,
You know,
basically.
let's. That's what we do, and so it's. it's hard to say we definitely need to have a conversation ahead, but it's hard to say that because people aren't mentally and emotionally trained to have those conversations beforehand. We just like we go on so much of our our wants. A lot of us be, I'm gonna just say, a lot of us be horny as heck. So we go off of that.
Yeah. A lot of
we
people
like
date
what
date
we
to get
like
to
and want
sex.
what we want.
You
Huh?
know, a lot of people date to get to sex. They don't think past that. They think that sex is supposed to be like that's where it stops at. Like, hey, if we had sex, then that means we're together forever. It's not always the case.
Cherry say she blamed Disney. Darrell, don't be on your best behavior. I need all of that. I've snuck at work and tried tuning into some of your lives. You be on point, but I can't. Like, I'm sneaking at work, so I can't really, I can't really be on there long. But you be on point, so don't be on your best behavior. Go on and talk. You a man. I'm sure you had that experience where women was just like they ready, and you just like, man, I don't know if you the one. But
I got a specific story about that.
It's one of those things where it's also one-sided, and when you do have this personal opinion, when you do have a person who is that adamant that I'm ready, you need to be ready, that's the first sign of selfishness, and that's a red flag, because it's almost like you're not even considering the other person's stance. You're not considering their mental, you're not considering what demons they're battling as to why they are not ready. You just like, I don't care about none of that. Make me the one so I can post our pictures. Make me the one so I can tag you. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of going out of town
and just hold against them. Right. Look, me and Bay. I want my status to be in a relationship. I don't want it to be single.
Yeah, one of our guests from YouTube said, a man commits to what he sees value in.
Okay, I didn't catch that whole thing.
She just said a man commits to what he sees value in.
Yeah, I guess you could say yeah. What's valuable to every man is different. It's not always the same. What one man like the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same concept. Just because one man values how she cooks chicken doesn't necessarily mean the next man will. The next man probably don't even like chicken like that. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends.
I know you can't see the comments.
Right. She's 110% right.
You can't see the comments, but Darrell said value in losing. He said value in losing. He want to be bad. So bad. Anybody know Darrell? Y'all know him. Y'all look. If you don't follow Darrell Washington, follow him on Facebook. You gonna tune into his lives. I can almost bet you gonna be 95%. You gonna agree with what he's saying. So let me go back to Charity's comment before I go to my next particular comment. So Charity said, if he took you to get a burger and a shake for a date, y'all was together. If he get the draws, y'all definitely together. She said, so that's how many of our grandparents and great so that's how many of our grandparents and great grandparents. So with that being,
I don't know about all that.
So with that being said, I mean, it's probably, especially men, y'all need to really listen to this. It's probably very safe to say when you are having sex with a woman who wants a relationship, when you having sex with her, that means you just solidified y'all relationship. So you gotta know.
Well, that only, and maybe in her mind, that's not necessarily in his mind.
Absolutely. But that's the part I want people to see. Even men, because I had a panel before where we was holding the women accountable, but then in the same breath, I was like, but men, y'all not slow like y'all be acting. I mean, some of y'all is, but we ain't gonna talk about that. y'all not as slow as y'all acting.
Nah.
You know when a woman is feeling you more than you are feeling her. So if you are steadily doing these type of things with her, then of course she don't feel like y'all together. So that accountability goes on you as well.
Right. I'm not denying any of that. What I'm saying is there are a lot of women who allow men to get away with a lot of stuff, and then because they feel like, oh, this is relationship stuff, and so they allow men to do stuff that they might not, because men and women we don't think alike. So just
Right,
because
right.
a man is doing a certain thing doesn't necessarily mean that he sees that as something that people in relationships should be doing. There's different aspects. That's why it's always best to get to know the person that you're trying to date and be in a relationship with. Like, I honestly feel like you should spend at least 6 months just getting to know each other.
I agree.
Learning each other, what each other just what us to do for the future. What do you want for your life? What are you doing with your life? You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff like that. It also helps you build a bond. So when you do actually cross the bridge and do the sex thing, it ain't so it doesn't fast forward things so quickly and
Mhm.
leave a lot of. I always use the analogy when in a relationship, it's kind of like going from A to B or A to Z, and sex might be freaking element or P. You know what I'm saying? Just because you go from A or B, element or P, doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the alphabet is gone. You still got to take those steps. Just because
Yeah.
you skip to freaking Q, don't mean that everything from B to was it R, Q, R, L, M, N, O, P, Q, P,
Oh
everything
Lord.
from B to P is just irrelevant at this point. No,
Right.
you still gotta do that. Don't judge me. I've been drinking. I'm drinking.
No, you good. But that's
But
absolutely
yeah,
why
so I
women
try to
have
use
to
that
learn.
analogy.
That's good. But that's absolutely why men have to learn women and women have to learn men. And not just in general. You need to learn the person that you're actually with. Because like you said,
Right,
a woman could be like, oh, we haven't sex
right,
together, we going on dates, we went on a vacation. You might thinking this is pushing toward a relationship. That man might be like, nah, this is what I do with everybody. What you talking about? So you just gotta know what type of
yeah. We
man,
just
huh? You freezing, so it's lagging.
I was agreeing with you. Like you just saying, we just chilling.
Okay, so before I go to my
Of
next,
course, the internet got to mess up today.
right, right. It's probably because you're on the phone and I'm on the laptop. That could be it. But before I
Yeah,
go on to my
I mean
next comment,
it was storming out here too. So
okay, that could be it too as well because I got all my bars, so it got to be something on your end.
yeah,
Okay, so at the beginning of the live, I did say
might
I
be.
have a raffle going. This young gentleman bought 3 Father's Day shirts that I offer for my brand. If you would like to be entered into the raffle, it is definitely free. Type raffle, and I will go back through the live when everything is over with. I will enter your name into the raffle to be drawn. So I'm giving away 3 Father's Day shirts. Ladies, you can enter the raffle as well. You may have a husband, boyfriend, brother, uncle, somebody that you want to give the shirt to. All shirts or the colors are
Mm-hmm.
upon your request. Um, so just keep that in mind. So then my bad, this is the next one. And guys, get your questions in the comments in because we definitely ain't gonna be on here long. I have one more comment after this, and then we closing out. So with this one, it says, going back to your original comment, it said when a man don't commit, women assume it's something wrong with him versus it's something wrong with her. So what you want to say to that part?
Right. So, yeah, just basically, because of the way women have been, I guess, indoctrinated with this mindset of when I'm ready, you're ready. What I'm saying, whenever a man, doesn't decide to commit or isn't moving like she wants him to, she automatically assumes that something's wrong with him. Oh, he doesn't, what I'm saying, men don't never want to commit this and this and that. They come up with this idea in there that it's something wrong with the man because they don't want to commit, as opposed to looking in the mirror and being like, maybe he's not ready, or maybe I'm just not compatible with him. Maybe he's not the guy for me. Especially if you're the type of person where you're already ready within the first year of dating, you're already ready to get married. You know what I'm saying? And the
Mhm.
dude probably is not on that same page. He's
Right.
probably thinking like, nah, I want to date for at least 6 before I even, propose. So it's always knowing who you're dealing with. And I think that when it comes to, and like I said, there's always exceptions to the rule. when it comes to, you know, certain women, they have that mindset that it's like, oh, he's not ready to commit. There's something wrong with him because I know I'm the issue. You know, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. That he would be, you know, he would appreciate as me being his committed girlfriend or, you know, fiance, wife, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Sorry for the lag.
No, it's cool. The thing is, so okay, so our YouTuber said everything is always on the woman's fault. Before I tackle what you just said, so the only thing I want to say to that part, and I want you to say respond to that part too. So with everything being on the woman,
Right.
here's my philosophy, and I'm not saying I'm right. Obviously, you know, we all learning through life and experiences, and again, there's exceptions to the rule, like you
Right.
said. So not one opinion fits all situations. But what I would say to that, everything is always on the woman's fault. Women, we have so much more power than we know. The thing is, if a man is quote unquote dragging you along or doing something that you feel is undervaluing you, you always have the power to leave. You always have the power to exit. You always have the power to not be treated, not be undervalued, or not be strung along. So when it comes to feeling like everything's on the woman, it's not, but it is, because women are the ones who put up with the behavior for so long, and then we're mad, we're snapping out, we're making posts. But the thing is, you're no longer a victim when you start to enable the behavior. And that's the point I want women to understand. It's definitely about accountability. It seems like it's on a woman's fault because, again, men they gonna do what they gonna do. They gonna do what you let them do. So at that point, if you are steadily letting a man get over on you, have sex with you,
that's a fact.
You know, not treat you like his girl when you really want to be his girl, that is on you actually. You know, it is on a woman. So that fault does, you know, go back to her, because a man does what you allow. That's not saying, and I said that earlier, that's not saying he's okay with what he's doing. But then you got to know what man you're dealing with. You got to know what season he's in. You got to know, you know, if he's really ready for a relationship or if he's just playing, playing house. Y'all typing, my bad. Let me scroll up. Y'all typing, the screen going away so fast. So,
well, while you checking though, I just wanted to quickly say that, you know, when they made the comment that everything is always on women or it's a women's fault, you know, in the context of this specific conversation, you know, the was made, or the comment was made, you know, that, you know, why is it so hard for men to commit? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm basically trying to defend us as men. Like, you know, now that's not to say that some men don't play games. You know, there are men out there who play games and just they have it all screwed up. But for the good guys out here, the ones that are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's not so you know, it's not I'm not trying to attack women or make it seem like it's women's fault that you have men out here who aren't willing to commit. I'm just trying to give y'all a different perspective as to why it may have that illusion, you know.
Yeah, because then Valencia said she had two comments actually, and I want to tackle both of those. So her first one said, "I've witnessed a man tell someone he didn't want a relationship, and they went on trips, elaborate dinners, and met the family." So what do you say to that?
Well, I mean, that sounds similar to my situation, you know, and just because a man says he doesn't want to commit doesn't mean that he's not being faithful to the chick that he's let meet the family and, you know, took out trips and elaborate things like that. Maybe he's just not ready to make that jump into, hey, this is a serious, we moving towards getting married type situation. You know, because it's just because you met the family and all that don't mean nothing, because there's plenty of women out here who've met plenty of dudes' families and they still ended up breaking up, and, you know, the relationship ain't work out. So, you know, you can't put certain criteria on whether or not a man is ready to commit. A man is ready to commit when he decides he's ready to commit. meeting the family, going out on elaborate dates and things like that. If you feel like it's moving in the right direction, why push the button? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense to make that assumption that someone's not willing to commit just because, you met the family and they were like, I don't know, I want to be in a full relationship yet. Maybe there's some things that are still needed to be worked out. I have a situation where I was dating a young lady, and everything was cool. There was just this one aspect of our relationship that I knew if we didn't fix it, I was going to end up cheating on her. And so that's why I didn't move forward. But it was like, I had a problem with her family. She was an awesome girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? My family likes her. She got on with everybody. She did everything right. She was definitely a great character. It was just this one small piece of the puzzle that was, not have been that big of a deal to her, but it was a very big deal to me. And that's the reason why I didn't want to move, forward in a more serious light until we got to the bottom root cause of what was that issue and how do we fix it? Can we fix it? But unfortunately, she decided that me just, not really ready to move at her pace wasn't good enough for her. So she made her decision, and I was okay with it. Like, that's fine with me because I'd rather we end it now as opposed to string each other along, and then 3 years down the line we all mad at each other because we wasted each other's time.
Right.
So
right. So you're saying some
sorry
men.
if I'm rambling, folks.
So you're saying some men may be doing all of these things because they actually see value in you. They actually like you. They're thinking about maybe this the one to commit,
Right.
but it's something to where either they know I'm not ready yet because I still want to dibble and dabble with somebody else, or that this person, she's a really good person, but it's something that she's doing that I know if we commit, it's gonna end up breaking us up anyway. So that kind of what you were saying.
Right. Unless you fix that problem and
Unless
figure out,
yeah.
how to fix that problem. Yeah, basically, in a nutshell, yeah. So like I said, you can't, unless you communicating with your partner and y'all are having those open and honest discussions that y'all need to be having, saying, if you're having those conversations and you're saying that he's still, this dude's not a commit, he doesn't want to commit, then by all means, then make that assumption. But you can't make that assumption if you're not having those open conversations and you're also being open and honest with yourself. Because sometimes we lie to ourselves about some stuff just so that we could feel better about the decision that was
We will.
made.
We will. We'll see a lot of red flags. So going, and I don't want to keep saying red flags because like I had a panel before. Some flags ain't even red, they just orange. That means it's a good flag. It's just some stuff needs to be worked out to get to the green light. But so I don't want to overdo red flags.
It's a
But
warning flag.
yeah, warning flag. Bingo, right. Exactly. So the thing to that though is I would say relationships are hard. So if you have a time clock, which I feel like most women do, if you have a time clock, it is okay to let go somebody and go get with somebody who wants to honor that time clock. But to stick around with somebody and be mad at him because he's not committing as fast as you want, that's almost like you're telling yourself it's okay to settle. Like, this is the person I want. I know he ain't ready, but I want what I want. I'm throwing a temper tantrum. You need to get with me now. We need to be exclusive now. That's you settling. So my question to the women is, why would you settle? There's men out here that will give you what you want.
Right.
There's men out here that they'll be with you within a month or two, and they like, boom, you the one. Let's go. So
let's get married.
Yeah, let's get married. So I want to always say men are off the hook because it's a bunch of stuff that they need to work on. Yes, but at the same time, if you are the one you're the guide of your own life, if you want the relationship and he doesn't, and you see that, okay, we doing the trips, we going out to barbecues, we meeting family, we doing all this stuff that looks like a relationship, but he hasn't committed, you got to be mature enough to say, you know what, it's something there. It's something there. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. We need to sit down. We need to have a conversation. And then when he starts to avoid the conversation, that's kind of your answer right there. He ain't ready.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But unfortunately, people, like I said, people love to lie to themselves. They love to lie to themselves in order to rationalize their decision. Make it make sense to them. When unfortunately, when it comes to love, a lot of shit don't make sense. Excuse my language. But when it comes
Don't,
to
yeah,
love, a lot of stuff don't make sense.
yep, yep. Guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and one more time. This is my last comment that I'll have for him. So if you guys don't have anything else, questions, comments, or anything for him after this last comment, we will be closing out the live. Also, again,
Mhm.
don't forget the raffle. Those that are on, please type raffle in the comment section if you want to be entered into the raffle. I'm giving away 3 Father's Day shirts. They're on the screen. Any color that you want, any size, just let me know, if you're the one to win the raffle. So type raffle. Don't forget to type raffle in the comment section so I can come back to it. And let's move on to is there anything
You
else
only can enter one time, so don't be trying to
only
type
ones, yes.
1,000 different times. Yeah.
uh, is there anything you want to say before I go to my last comment?
Uh, not, nah. We could move on to the next one.
Okay.
Let's keep it moving. I'll plug
Okay.
my new song later in. When we're about to close out.
Okay. All right. So then the last comment. 1 second, guys. So the last comment, according to the one you made on the post, so it said women don't assume that she is not compatible with the man as to why he has not committed to her. So it kind of goes back to the conversation we
Right.
kind of led off on, but I do want you to kind of speak more to the
Right.
compatibility part of it.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, when it comes to relationships, a lot of stuff don't make sense, and people will definitely lie to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Some people, women and men, will ignore compatibility issues simply because, for whatever reason. Maybe they do something that's really you really enjoy or really like, and then you ignore the fact that they do something else that's definitely not cool in a relationship that you would like to have. So they ignore those type of things, and then I'm ready to commit because they don't. Maybe it's just they don't want to see that person with someone else, but
Yeah. Ooh.
they ignore those compatibility issues, and all of a sudden it's you don't want to commit to me because you don't want you don't commit. It's horrible. You're a man. Men don't commit. And so that's not the case. It just might be they recognize that they're not compatible with you, but instead of having that open conversation and cutting those daggone opening those, or unfortunately it sounds bad, but cutting those wounds, giving people that truth, they avoid that. Neither wants to admit that we're not compatible because maybe they have great sex. Maybe the sex is just phenomenal, and then you ignore the fact that y'all fight constantly.
Right.
When the only time you're not fighting is when you're having sex.
Right.
So you ignore that. You think that because oh, we're great when we play Scrabble together. We're supposed to be together forever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're not satisfied physically or emotionally. So
Mhm.
it's a lot of things that play into that
Yeah.
people tend to overlook because for whatever reason. And that's where I was going with that.
Yeah. I think someone actually commented. I think it's BJ Penn was his Facebook name, I believe. He actually commented on there and he said nowadays it's hard for a lot of men to commit because in the end, when a relationship is over, the marriage, whatever, men lose more in the end than women do. And so more men
That all
or
depends on who has more.
and so men are scared to like go that route, I guess, because they feel like men are the ones who get the shorter end of the stick when the relationship is over. So I don't know if he's
I
just
mean,
referring to marriage, but
that could be true, but it all depends on who has more. Because if neither one of y'all got anything, who's losing? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's losing what?
right.
It all depends on who has more. And if you both have enough to where you're both comfortable, you won't lose anything. But it all depends. I completely agree and understand. Well, I won't say agree, but I completely understand where he's coming from.
Mhm.
By saying that, because there are a lot of brothers out there who be with a woman. I mean, look at Dr. Dre, bro. He was with his wife for how many years, and now they getting a divorce, and she was trying to get like $500 million from this guy. Like, it was crazy. So unfortunately, yeah, men do sometimes get the bad end of the stick, but that's primarily because majority of the time it's the man who's the breadwinner in the family. So whenever there's a divorce, you know, the breadwinner got to break off some of that bread.
Right. Right. So before I end the live, one of our YouTubers, she commented, and I want you to kind of tackle that. But she said they can't commit because they never been challenged to be held accountable as they were growing up. Now there are many grown boys pretending to be men.
That's a fact. Just like there are a lot of grown women, a lot of grown girls out here. So um, everybody's entitled to their opinion. What was the first part of her comment again?
She said they can't commit because they never been challenged to be held accountable as they was growing up.
Right. Yeah, that could be true. That I don't think that's the case 100% across the board. There's a plethora of reasons why some men have trouble committing, or aren't committing to a specific woman that they've been with. Me personally, I feel like if you've been with somebody for X amount of years, you at some point you need to admit that you're committed to that person. If you've been with somebody for 3, 4, 5 years, y'all in a committed relationship, whether you know it or not. You know what I'm saying? It's just y'all are adhering to the rules and standards that a committed relationship should have. That doesn't have anything to do with commitment issues, more so than just character flaws. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm still with somebody for 5 years, even though I'm cheating on you, I keep coming back to you. That's a committed relationship. I'm just a horrible individual. Like, my character flaws are out the window. And I definitely need to have a conversation with you on why I keep cheating on you, or why I keep whatever. But, we need to start being a little bit more honest with ourselves, when it comes to committed relationships. Because you can't be dating somebody for freaking 5, 6 years. That's not how dating works. At some point you need to be like, we're in a relationship. It's just you're not honoring it. And so I need to go ahead and end this.
Right. So do you think commitment and accountability are hand in hand, or are they kind of not one and the same?
I think accountability is a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a prerequisite to commitment. So you can't have a actual functioning committed relationship without accountability. You have to be accountable for your action. But you can't be a functioning human being without accountability. At some point, you need to start holding yourself accountable for some of the stuff that you do, good and bad. So I think
all the way around.
I think that's just a aspect of. I hope I'm making sense to the folks out there. I know sometimes I ramble and I'm talking analogies a lot.
And then hopefully it makes sense. But then it's bad too, because the signal keep going in and out. So more and more. So I know as we're on here longer, it's definitely going to even get worse. So that was all my comments. Based off your comment, that was all. Nobody else has said anything else. Valencia said it makes sense. So thank you for coming on here randomly. Not within enough, time to like prepare, but it was good. It's okay. Purpose. I thank you guys for tuning in live. Those that'll come in afterwards. Hopefully you can get something from this. Anybody that's on now or when you watch later, if you want to be a guest, please inbox me. These are the topics that we like to talk about, because a lot of stuff that's going on in our community, especially the Black community, we don't talk about and we need to tackle. And that's the only way. And going back to my YouTuber's comment, that's the only way even a lot of men will start being held accountable for the things that they do, like doing relationship stuff with people when they don't want a relationship. We got to talk about these things. If you don't talk about them, and it just happened. Everybody just go with the flow. Oh, y'all cute, but what's behind the cute? You know, is it a commitment behind the cute? What is it? So we
Right.
definitely got to tackle these hard topics. Thank you, and
Right.
thank you guys for tuning. They said awesome topic. Thanks for sharing. But thank you guys for tuning
I
in.
appreciate you for tuning in.
I will see you guys on the next live. These are always random lives. Sometimes I share a flyer, so I don't know when the next live will be, but we'll see you guys next time then.
Don't forget to tell them when when you're gonna do the raffle drawing.
Well, I'm gonna
You
go back
know.
to. I gotta make the run, so I'm gonna go back probably later tonight and tally up. I think as I was saying though, I only saw two people type raffle. So I think I only saw two, which
Right.
those
But
two
it's
people.
you. Are you gonna post this correct? Like it's gonna be like for people to
It's live. It's live.
rewatch later.
Yeah, it's live. It's live.
Okay.
But
So yeah, give them. I'm trying to say give them 24 hours. You got 24 hours to get your raffle typed in there, and if not,
if
don't
not
be
those two
mad when you
people,
don't get picked.
but those two people that type raffle, they would definitely be getting the shirt if nobody else comment. And then that third free shirt,
Right.
I'll just do a separate raffle outside of my business page with it. So,
Yeah.
but
There you
yeah,
go.
so we about
Oh
to get
yeah, look, I got a
started.
new song out. I would appreciate some support on. I know y'all got your own little artists and anything that y'all listen to, but it is a new song that I got out. It's called Vibes. It's by 89. It's spelled 3IGH7Y9. It's gonna be all over my page. I'm posting it and marketing it. I'd appreciate it if it's on all streaming platforms except for Apple. We still waiting, but I appreciate it if you use Spotify, Pandora, whatever you use. You type that in, add it to your playlist for me. Let me get a couple of spins. I know you're probably gonna skip it, but let it at least play twice before you start skipping over
So,
it.
so you
Let me get
okay.
I appreciate some love.
So you'll have the link and all that on your Instagram, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, guys. So his Instagram is in the caption of this video as well. So you guys can always go click that link and follow him just in case you don't remember. Because I know I'm bad when people saying stuff on live, especially if I'm finna leave and go do something else. I ain't gonna lie, I be forgetting a lot of stuff. So y'all can click his link. Y'all can click his link that's in the caption. That'll take you to his Instagram page, and you can keep up with him. That way, you can keep in touch with his songs and his links and everything. So that is that.
I
And
appreciate the love.
he appreciated it. I appreciate y'all for coming. I'm about to go get some food. I'm hungry. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah,
I'm tired. I will see y'all on the next live.